Welcome back to a brand new season of Dunstan Kiwi Bred. I'm Alisha Neilson and I'm looking forward to your company over the coming months as we take an in-depth look at the New Zealand thoroughbred breeding industry. We begin this season at Monovale Farm, where Paul Smithies reflects on the success of his Group 1 producing broodmare, Miss Opera. Paul, it was 14 years ago you and your wife Kushla got involved in the breeding industry. You came to Karapiro after selling your beef farm at Tikawiti. What was it that attracted you to this way of life?
Well, at that stage we started to get a bit more serious about it. We bought our first mare about 21 years ago, and we took a few mares down to Tikawiti with us, and as we got a few more we decided that Tikawiti wasn't really the right place to be and we should be moving up to the WAIKATO.
You grew up with a horse background, you rode recreationally, but where did the desire to start a commercial breeding operation come from?
Well, initially having a few mares was just part of the farming operation, and we sort of got a few more and thought we should really, it just sort of happened really. We got a few more mares and got a bit more involved, and as the numbers went up we sort of thought we should start doing our own drafts for the yearling sales and so on, so that's really how it evolved.
She was one of your first, she's still going at the ripe age of 21. How did the acquisition of Miss Opera come about?
Gordon called her from, was at Windsor Park in those days, and an agent had obviously sent the pedigree through to them and they weren't interested in her, and Gordon rang me and said this might be a mare that could suit you, and so we had a look at it and thought she was from a good tough Central Districts family. She was a stakes winning 2-year-old, she won the Castletown Stakes, and so we just decided, and she was affordable too, so we thought, we'll have a go with her and see how we go.
Now, from your farming background, you do go a lot on physical attributes. Did she appeal on that level as well?
She's not a really big mare, but she was obviously a tough race mare. She won 6 races, and as I said, stakes winning 2-year-old. So we probably were much more influenced by the pedigree and so on, and yeah.
Success for her came quickly. Miss Opera's second foal, going on to become one of New Zealand's most prolific stakes winners in Sir Slick. That must have vindicated your faith in the mare.
Yeah, well, funnily enough, he didn't win his first stakes race until he was a 4-year-old, and his first Group 1 as a 5-year-old. So in the early, he didn't win as a 2-year-old despite having about 8 starts, and then he won 3 as a 3-year-old, but not stakes races. So he was a horse that really came on with age, and in that intervening period we'd had a few issues with we lost a foal out of her and things like that. So was sort of after Sir Slick really hit his straps as an older horse that we thought we'd better get serious about trying to get this mare mated to some decent high quality stallions.
You were very keen to secure a filly from Miss Opera for breeding purposes. Tell us how you ended up with that foal share agreement with Coolmore Australia.
Well, we were keen to send her over to one of the high profile Australian horses, and Coolmore were good enough to do a foal share with Encosta De Lago. His service fee at the time was about 220,000 Australian, I think, and so we thought, well, a foal share is probably quite a good way to get the foal, get her in foal, and then find out what she has and make a decision as to whether we try and buy Coolmore out. Of course, she had a colt, not a filly, and but despite that, when we put him through the weanling sales, we really liked him and thought, well, we'd have a go at buying him out anyway.
That colt went on to become Puccini. His 3-year-old campaign was so impressive, taking out the New Zealand Derby and 3 Group 2s in the Great Northern Guineas, WAIKATO, Avondale Guineas. This spring, you're going after the Cox Plate. How do you rate his chances?
I guess we've got to see how he comes back up as a 4-year-old. Have a much better idea when he's had 2 or 3 starts this season. But if he can find the sort of form that he was in the autumn of last year, you know, you would think he would be a reasonable chance.
300 metres to go. Glorious Lad, Valdivia. The inside, Puccini still there. 2 lengths away next as we're going to get you. Looking to warm up from Sacred Park. Further back, King Savinsky. The favourite's not in this, but it's Puccini. Puccini at the 100. Coming after Colonel Carrera. Out wide, we're going to get you running on as well. Puccini still in front from Colonel Carrera. Puccini. Homeward bound in the Avondale Guineas and Puccini the leader. Here's Rising Romance coming after us strongly now. And behind these as they head down the straight, we've got Glorious Lad out wide. Puccini still in charge at the 200. 2 clear from Rising Romance. Glorious Lad. Chambord's arriving late from Lucky Feather. It's Puccini. Rising Romance is trying ever so hard, but Puccini, I reckon there's your favourite for the Derby in a couple of weeks. Puccini won the Avondale Guineas brilliantly. Homeward bound they are now. 250 to go and Puccini dashed away. 2.5 to 3 clear from Glorious Lad. Rising Romance is getting going out wide. Puccini and Michael Walker well clear. Rising Romance storming home, but they're not going to get the colt. Puccini's got the Derby. All pass on up. Backs are coming. Puccini brilliant in the end.
Puccini's value as a stallion is still being determined. Do you plan to stand him at stud?
We wouldn't stand him here. We're not really set up to stand stallions. We have shares in a few stallions around the place, but we would probably prefer to, you know, place him with a stud and maybe retain a share or two and you know, keep involved that way, but not stand him ourselves. No.
His dam, Miss Opera, she's the matriarch of Monovale. She's 21. Health-wise, what condition is she in?
She's pretty good for her age. She's no drama at all, really. She's you know, they're day-to-day propositions at that stage, and you know, like the year after Puccini's was actually quite a difficult foaling, and the year after that we gave her a year off and just thought, oh well, we'll just see what she's like the following year, and the vet said she was fine to breed, so we had another go and we got a Zabeel colt. So yeah, we're still trying to get that elusive filly.
She's tested positive in foal to sire of the moment, O'Reilly.
Yeah.
Of course, you'll be hoping for that filly.
We are, yeah. We would be over the moon to get a filly, but you know, the main priority is that she delivers a healthy foal and you know, doesn't get, you know, everything goes to plan. So yeah, but a filly would be fantastic.
She's had a pretty successful run with the progeny who've ended up at the racetrack, hasn't she?
She has. I mean, there's not many mares leave one Group 1 winner, and she's left 2. She's had 6 foals to go to the races. Have all won at least 2 races, and 2 of the others have been stakes placed. So she's done a great job, really. She's couldn't falter.
She's been a wonderful producer for you, Paul. What legacy are you hoping Miss Opera will leave?
Well, she's only got one live mare out of her at the moment, which is Short Black Minnie, that we sold as a yearling, and she's done a great job. She's left a horse fairly early in her career called Little Wonder, and you know, so we're obviously desperate to try and get a filly out of her to carry on with her. She herself, in terms of her future, she's really a day-to-day proposition at the age that she is. So yeah, we would love to get a filly to carry on the line.